understood. I would like to talk about today, as part of the health teaching, to open the eye of the men especially into what their partners go through at the point of birth, during the process of the birth, and then after, what we call in many cases postnatal depression. What this means is that it is for us men, it's very easy. As we say, we done our job. But for a woman, the job does not finish. For women, the job carries on. They have put their energy, and you have to understand at the point of inception, the child is part of the soul of the woman, is connected to the soul of the woman. And this is important, that in that process, the emotion of the child, the life of the child, all will interact with the life of both things together. Which means when a life is created, when a man goes through the process of birth, in that process, we have to understand that we as being have to go to the next step. Which means the mother goes through interaction between the life and the existence of her own, and in so many ways, in understanding that the separation of the child which has been inside the mother, in physical term by birth, it cannot be accepted by the mother. We have given this different names, but in fact, what we have not understood is that at the time of separation of a child from the mother, where the fear of giving life during the cycle of pregnancy, the fear of letting go for what you have so preciously kept for 9 months with you, and then not knowing if what you have created will stand the course of life, brings anxiety to the mother. And this anxiety, which is totally emotional dimension, will create mayhem in the soul of the woman. What we call the transfer of the energy from the soul to the child. When they give birth, they go through the fear of loss. During the time of pregnancy, they live through the fear of, would I be able to give life? We are not in the subconscious of a woman. We do not see what they see. We do not see the anxiety, but continuously, every step, if I fall, what happened to what's inside me, I have responsibility for. If I eat the wrong food, what's going to happen to it? Is it the happy? Am I doing? Would it survive? Can I give him education? Because to a woman, a man is there, but the woman works on uncertainty of knowing certainly she's there for it to make the change if the other partner is not there. And these drain a lot from the soul of the woman. And men don't see this. And then they say she changed, she's different, she doesn't do this, she doesn't do that. She's become very aggressive, she's become this or that. Because we haven't understood what I've just explained in the past few links, that women at this point of life need support in their soul. They need support for transfer of the energy. A postnatal depression is very much what I explained before. It's like a blood pressure. It's like a diabetic. It's psychosomatic, but it goes to the point of emotion, and then it manifests itself in all sorts of things. We call it depression, we call it aggression, or whatever we like to call it. What do we do? How do we handle these cases? How do we support our partners, or as a physicians, when we see a postnatal depression, what do we need to do? There is a process which is developed by Keshe Foundation to go through the support of the whole structure. You don't start supporting at the point of the birth. You start supporting at the point of what I call inception. You support at the point where you need to be, that it can bring the change into the whole life. Which means, how do we do this? How do we support not only the soul of the mother, but we support the soul of the child? We support the emotion of the mother, that it does not end up with what we've seen, what you call postnatal depression. What we have suggested and what we have supported is, for many, many mothers, they need the emotional support. They need to be there, that they can feel and they can understand the totality. They can be part of what it needs to be, and they cannot be separated from the child. So what we've seen, what we have, what we go through is that those who are responsible for the care of the mothers, or the mothers themselves, to learn how to support themselves, to learn how to be able to increase the emotional strength, and to be able to support the birth, that after the birth there is no what I call emotional depletion of the strength at the level of the soul, that we don't see these kind of what we call postnatal depression. What we have learned by experience over years in the change of the environment, or what we call the processing, is that we enter the dimension in supporting the emotion and in supporting the physicality. What we have seen and what has been new for us in so many ways is that we do not see everything as you want, but we will see a new dimension in life where women can live a very comfortable life, very easy, and how anxiously we can be there to support them, and how we can change it. What we've seen is that by adding or by consuming cans of zinc oxide in a very moderate amount, about 30-60 ml at night, it helps quite a lot. We've seen the whole process that in allowing to, in a way, to bathe with gans of what we call zinc oxide at 30 to 60% and CO2, we can allow both the calmness of the emotion, what we call the elevation of the soul. What we have seen, especially after the birth, in increasing the zinc oxide to about 80% with 20% CH3 and CO2, we be able to develop a system, a way that we emotionally elevate the emotion of the woman, that she does not fall in the trap of what I call emotional distress, that she can become and she can support herself. Those of you who go through this process of giving birth, of being there, will understand that this support is